Alright, how is everybody doing today? Back again with another video for you guys. And now, I'm doing this one kind of quick. And I'll explain more in detail as we go along. But today, we're doing my full review of the PureNexusRom for the LG Google Nexus 4. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this. So, starting off, I just want to talk about the main features that this ROM supports. Now, this is a purely, well, almost pure version of Android, and it's based on Android 6.0.1. Let me just let that camera focus up, guys, sorry. So as you can see, right here, we're running Android 6.0.1, which is pretty much the newest version of Android. So you have all of your Android 6.0 features. Let's just let this Easter egg run. A mini game that I never beat. So, that being said, let's get into some more of these features here. Now, I apologize about the glare. Camera's having a little bit of trouble focusing. Let me see if I adjust the brightness, if that will help. Nah, she's having a lot of trouble focusing right now. And she don't want to focus up too good. Okay, let's bring the brightness back down. Make everything as seeable as possible. So, now let's talk about these features. Sorry, I got a little off track. So, feature-wise, this ROM has all of the stock Android features and a few customizations. But in terms of features, you have everything like your Now On tab here, which is pretty much a contextual search of anything you have on the screen, whether it be contacts, locations, messages, movie times, things of that nature. And then let's just jump into settings here. So you have all of your stock stuff. And now the cool thing about this ROM is that it also comes pre-rooted. So you can see right there you have Super User. So it comes pre-rooted. And other than that, you pretty much have all stock features of Android Marshmallow. So you have the pin, you have the Now On tap, you got the permissions, it comes with the Dose feature, all that good stuff. Now, let's get into the customizations. So in terms of customizations for this PureNexusRom, you can actually do quite a lot. You can customize stuff on your lock screen, such as the weather, lock screen shortcuts, quick unlock, stuff of that nature, scramble the layout pin, stuff like that. You can also change the lock screen, all that good stuff. Some other things is, matter of fact, we could just go down the list here. So when you get to your notification draw, you can have this quick pull down. So what quick pull down is, it just lets you quickly get to all of your notification draws. So you can have it on the right or the left. And then you have the show weather. So you can see the weather up there along with the time and the date. I don't currently have it enabled. I only have what I use. Now, you can force expandable notifications, and you can change your quick shortcuts, layouts, and add and remove icons. So as you can see, I have it in the 2 rows of 4. Out of the box, it doesn't come like that, but that's what I changed it to. You can add rows of 3. You can enlarge the first row. You can you have the brightness slider there, but you can also take that off and add a quick toggle for it. So, and I kind of like the brightness slider, so I left it alone. Other things, when you hit the recent apps here, you can put it in full screen mode so the buttons disappear. And you can also customize whether or not you have the Google search in there. You can customize whether or not you have a clear all button, and you can customize the location of the clear all button and stuff like that. So moving along, and I'm just trying to get to all the good stuff. I may not cover everything, but I'm just covering all the things that I thought were pretty cool. So moving on here, you can customize your nav buttons here. So you can customize the layout of these buttons down here that are on screen. You have double tap to sleep on the nav bar, all that good stuff. You got the hold to kill back app. So if you hold the back button, you kill the apps. And of course, like I said, you can also change the layout. And that's pretty much it. Ooh, this is also a good one here, which I believe you can also do in the volume rocker buttons. As a matter of fact, you can control the cursor with your volume up and down. Now, I thought that was pretty cool, and I actually use that one a lot. Now, moving on, you can customize your power menu, and what the power menu is when you hold down the power button, where you get the options to turn off the device or reboot it into recovery mode, reboot it into bootloader mode, or just reboot it regular, or have a quick reboot. You can also customize that here in this menu, so you could turn that off and on. You can add the screenshot icon, so you can take a screenshot just from the power menu here. You can have a screen record, which you can do. Airplane mode, you can toggle that on and off. You can add shortcuts. You can device lock, which is something I don't really use, so I don't know that too well. You can add a search from the power menu. You can do voice searches, and you can add the sound control options. And now, as of right now, all I have on the power menu is the airplane mode and the quick reboot options here, because I think that makes everything really quickly. And then in terms of where I put the screenshot icon, I added it to right here, as I think I said earlier. But moving on, other things that you can do is, like I mentioned earlier, you can control what the volume rockers do, not just in terms of volume up and down, but it could be cursor controls, it can be music controls, you can swap the functionality of them, all that good stuff. So, and pretty much in terms of display, you can have expanded display where the nav buttons go away until you swipe up. Then you have your battery light controls, and this is a multicolor light. So you have all your colors. You got red, green, blue, yellow, all that good stuff. And notification light, so you can customize what colors come when certain notifications come in and on certain apps. I pretty much leave that default, because default out of the box, I think it came up pretty well, so I don't really mess with it too much. Now, moving on, you also have your media controls and other notifications. So right here, you can control the camera shutter sound. You can control the double tap power to launch camera and the vibration of it, the battery saver, and the battery low notification. And also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you do have the double tap to launch the camera. So if I go, it takes me right into the camera. And so that's pretty cool. We're going to come back to this in a minute, though, because there's a little bit of an issue with the camera. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Now, moving on, I apologize for that noise if you heard that motorcycle blowing by in the background. Now, some other cool things is you can control the clock and what comes up. So you can have the weather, you can have calendar events, all that good stuff. And then if we go back right here, and I thought this was pretty cool. But you have a tools and info option, so you can get all the info about your device from right here in the phone info section. You can go straight to the battery right there. You can get the statistics and all that good stuff. So also in here, you can also toggle off and on what radios your phone uses. So if you want 3G, 4G, LTE, you could toggle that off and on. And this right here, I wouldn't recommend using unless you know how, but you can actually change certain aspects of the operating system editing the build prop. And I don't really know too much about that, so I pretty much just leave it alone. But I just thought that was pretty cool, because back when I had my my S3, in order to get the on-screen buttons to come up, you had to go in and edit the build prop using a file explorer with root access. You go in and edit some stuff. So it's pretty cool that they have that right off the back. In case you're experienced with it, you can go in there and mess around, but please be careful. Now, that pretty much covers all the features of the ROM itself. Now, let's move on to the next important thing I wanted to cover here, which is the overall performance of the device. Now, performance-wise, with a few exceptions, I would say the performance is pretty good. It runs pretty fluid and very smooth. It's very minimal. A lot of these apps in here, including YouTube, I had to install myself. It came with very minimal stuff. And I think pretty much the only thing it had on here was the Play Store out of the box. Everything else I had to install myself, and the performance has been very smooth and fluid. So no issues with performance. The Wi-Fi performance has been pretty great, and I did run a Wi-Fi test for you guys, and as you can see, let me just let that go away, but I was getting 4G there. Let me see if I can get that to focus up. So right there you can see I was getting 4G speeds here. Now, I was a little saddened because on the PureNexusRom I was getting the LTE speeds, but I got pretty good speeds, as you can see, over data, which I'm using T-Mobile, and I got really decent speeds over Wi-Fi. And I have a pretty good router, so I get pretty decent speeds. But Wi-Fi wise and performance in general, I would say was pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Now, moving on, let's get to the next thing I wanted to cover. Is now, let's go over some of the things that work and didn't work quite well. So, out of the box, I would pretty much say that everything works, and you have full customization, as I mentioned earlier, so you can pretty much customize just about a little bit, not too much. It's not overly customizable, but it's good enough. But out of the box, I would say everything works, except for, and I couldn't figure out how to fix this. Now, if you launch the camera works just fine. It takes pictures. But the minute you swipe over to take videos, you get a crash. And this pretty much happens every time. So, it doesn't matter what I was doing. If I needed to take a quick picture, I could do that. But if I wanted to take a video, it just keeps crashing. And it happened every time. Not sure why. Other than that, I would say that everything else works as it was supposed to. And I had no issues listening to music, watching movies, playing games. Everything ran very smoothly. Now, let's get into one of the main parts of this ROM review, and one of my favorite parts, and something I consider to be very important, not just for ROMs and optimization, but as for the phone itself, let's talk about the battery life on this guy. Now, unfortunately, although this is a very stock build with a lot of customizations, the battery life on here is not too good at all. Now, usually, I pretty much run what I run for my reviews in terms of battery life. So I have a heavy use test, a moderate use test, and a light use test. And I'm not sure what's going on with the optimizations in this for this ROM at all. I was getting much better battery life on PureNexusRom. I'm not seeming to be doing so great on this guy. And the battery actually has a little glitch in it. So the percentage it reads is not actually what it reads. And in order to get the true percentage, you have to boot into custom recovery to see the right percentage and then boot back into the system. But every time you go to charge it, it gets messed up. So anyways, that's one of the reasons why I put this review out so fast, because one, I invested too much time into setting up everything and actually using it to just scrap the review. So I crossed the point of no return, so I had to do it. But battery-wise, I would say overall, this actually makes the battery on the Nexus 4 worse. Stock-wise, no matter what I was doing, I was able to get 4 hours of screen on time, and if I pushed it heavy, I was able to get just over 6 hours of screen on time. Now, y'all saw in the PureNexusRom review that it pretty much blew the stock scores out of the water. Via PureNexusRom, I was able to get about 4 hours with any type of use, but with heavy use, I was able to get just over 7 hours, and that's pretty much right on par with the Moto X Pure Edition. But with this, I would say that it was pretty much a struggle to get even 3 hours. And it's for that reason that I cannot recommend this ROM. Y'all know me, I'm very heavy when it comes to battery life, and if the battery life sucks, I can't really let it slide. So, I think that about covers everything. I'm sorry that this review ran a little long, but y'all know me, I like to cover everything so you know what you're getting into. And I pretty much think that wraps up my review of the PureNexusRom for the LG Google Nexus 4. So we're going to move on to something else. I think I might do the FrankenROM next. So y'all be on the lookout for that teaser and install video. But anyway, let me go ahead and wrap this up. So, if you enjoyed this video, please help your boy out and give it a thumbs up. That really does help. You don't know how much. If you enjoyed this raw, uncut content and you want to see more raw, uncut content like this, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below to see more videos as they become available. And lastly, if you know anybody that's looking for some great products at some really great prices, please go ahead and share with them my channel. And hey, I guess I can even throw how to install custom ROMs in there as well. Pretty much, I only install custom ROMs on this device at this time, but I might add other devices in the future. I'm not quite sure yet, but as of right now, we're just flashing custom ROMs on this Nexus 4 here. But anyways, if you know anybody that's interested in great devices at really great prices, please share with them my channel. And I think that pretty much covers everything. So y'all have a great day, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.